panelist is Sara Fernandez.
Hi, thank you, Ambassador, for meeting with us today. I'm Sara Fernandez. I'm Advocacy Officer at the Center for Justice and Peace, Cepaz, in Venezuela. As you know, the humanitarian crisis in Venezuela keeps worsening. Unfortunately, the Security Council has not managed to provide a unified response to support Venezuelans in finding a solution to the crisis. In February 2019, when none of the competing resolutions regarding Venezuela were adopted, South Africa voted against the U.S. draft and in favor of the Russian draft. And on October last year, during your dialogue with civil society, you reaffirmed the importance of preventing a conflict in the country. I wanted to ask you if anything has changed since that moment, and do you think there is any common ground on which the members of the Council could work in the future to give a unified response to the crisis? Thank you.
Thank you for the question. Ambassador, back to you.
Let's expect. Yes, Tandy, she's listening.
Okay, thank you very much for your question. The issue of Venezuela and South Africa's position on that is such that, well, it's quite consistent with other issues on the Council's agenda. We feel that, firstly, national ownership of a crisis is very important. We've consistently called on dialogue and negotiation between the sides in Venezuela. And before we can pronounce on an issue, we are always very comfortable, or always very cognizant of the fact that the national institutions, the Constitution is also respected, and where we look for opportunities is where we can support their national process. We also always urge for the roles of the regional body, and in the case of Venezuela, it would be the OAS or neighboring countries which can support that dialogue, and where we feel that council members could possibly converge is, of course, in encouraging this dialogue and a peaceful political process. And then when it comes to issues of the humanitarian situation, we always encourage the government to work with the UN, to work with neighboring countries, and as I mentioned, to work with the regional body to facilitate that in the interest of the people that are affected by a humanitarian situation.